Hello world, welcome back to Agile on the Trail. I'm your host, Voices, and today I am going to be talking about week 8 in retrospective. And by the way, week 7 too. Let me apologize first and foremost for week 7's retrospective. I did record it, and then when I went to post it, lack of better terms, it was corrupted, unrecoverable. And I was pressed for time for posting. In fact, that was when I was zeroed out in Marion, Virginia. So I ended up skipping posting it or re-recording it and posting it and stuff because I was already going to run on less than 4 hours of sleep for the next day. So we're going to do week 7 real quick, retrospective, and then week 8. So here's week 7. I was going to talk about, or I did talk about, but I am going to talk about it now to you. Hostels. Theme for week 7 was, as we started with a hostel, we ended with a hostel, and we've gone through a lot of hostels, and I just wanted to talk real briefly about hostels. Hostels are a great hiker community place. Each hostel has its characteristics, its traits, and depending on the type of hiker you are, some hostels will appeal to you and others not so much. This is true for me and several people I've hiked with in and around. Obviously, I stayed multiple days at several hostels. Whether I wanted to or not, I did. And all I have to say about hostels is, despite the horror movie, Hostel, which I never saw, but it's a horror movie, so it gives you kind of a connotation of what a hostel is. They're not bad. They're basically stripped down versions of motels. They have bunkhouses. Most of them has bunkhouses, camping, showers usually, laundry, sometimes iffy. They have laundry service. Most of them do in some form or another. But hostels is just a great place for hikers, section hikers, and even people who are doing other activities in the area, such as biking and sightseeing and stuff, to have a rather cheap place to stay for the most part. A little base of operations. There's a lot of trust that goes on in the hostels as well. You're leaving your gear on your bunk unless you have a private room, if the one's available. But basically, if you're in the bunkhouse, you're leaving your gear on your bunk with a whole bunch of other people's gear all around you. There is a unwritten rule, thou shalt not steal. I didn't witness or hear of any thefts in my stays. And for the most part, everything has been rather good with hostels, in my experience. Now, there are some hostels that aren't so great for me, looking back on it. But I do see the benefits of hostels on the trail. And again, they have all their characteristics, their traits. And depending on who you are and what you're looking for, one hostel might appeal to you, another one won't. Whereas somebody you're hiking with, it's vice versa. That is life. Anywho, that was my kind of overall, kind of high level arc of what I was going to go and talk about in retrospective for week 7. Let's get into week 8 retrospective. Oh, I found a nice log. I'm gonna sit down here. Okay, so week 8. Well, we came out of Damascus. And coming out of Damascus, we were hiking alone, Ronin style, on Sunday morning. And within a few miles, Mike and Kat, aka Cheesecake and Hootie Hoo, caught up to me. If you guys remember, we were hiking with them as a tramley early on, the first couple of weeks of me being on the trail. And it was a reunion. It was a good reunion. They had came back on trail due to some family issues. And just so happens, we're right there with each other. So we ended up hiking all week together. Sometimes on the trail, but most of the time, separately, but we're always, planning on staying at the same place each night. camping together or hosteling together or hoteling it together, resupplying together. And it was a good reunion. And it did help. I think both sides did help. Ooh, little inchworm, come here. Oh, he fell. Let's see, a little inchworm. Ah, fell again. Sorry, buddy. Where'd you go? Okay. Anyways, it was good to be hiking with him again, and I'm still hiking with him at the recording of this. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to catch up to him. And in part, the three of us, plus another person that we ended up picking up a little later in the week, Whack, what's around the corner is his name, Whack. We all pretty much hit a couple of milestones. We did the Grayson Highlands together. We did the 500-mile mark together. We did the 550, 25%, 1/4 way done mark together. We near rode into Marion together. We finished our hike for week 8 into Bland, Virginia, when it started raining. And we all put in our best week so far together of 114.2 miles or 16.3 miles a day average for week 8. Now, some factors on this. One, it's because I'm hiking with Mike and Kat, and so we're kind of pushing each other a little bit, which is good. We are still looking out for each other. We do experience, body pains, foot aches and stuff. So we're cautious of not trying to push each other too hard that somebody gets injured and have to go off trail. However, I would say other factors include the fact that I've lost 30 pounds of weight, and that's helped with my hiking abilities. This might sound a little funny, I had budgeted myself 1 pound of weight loss per 22 miles hiked. Basically, I had 100 pounds over, I came into the trail 100 pounds overweight, 280 pounds. 10 years ago, I was 180 pounds and in excellent shape. Now I'm 280 starting the trail on April 1st. And so I know people go through weight loss on the trail. And that is a concern that I had going into the trail. So I budgeted, again, myself 1 pound for every 22 miles or 1% of the mile, 1% of the trail. At the 25% mark, I was 30 pounds. So I was 5 pounds ahead of where I would like to be. But quite honestly, I'm okay with that. It's really helped me pick up my pace a bit, not be as fatigued. My ability to go up and down hills has increased. And along with that, the fact that now that I can get from point A to point B faster, I don't need to carry as much food. Therefore, my pack is weighed less. I'm taking advantage of as much slack packing as possible, which, by the way, I'm slack packing today. That's also increased the mileage. And I'll be honest with you, Virginia, now that we've gone into Virginia on week 8, their trails are very well maintained. Very well maintained. There haven't been any significant, consistent steep ups that we saw with the mountains of Georgia and North Carolina and in some aspects Tennessee. They do have mountains, they do have ups, and we do get up into the elevations like the Grayson Highlands. But the switchbacks, the elevation grade and stuff, much appreciated. What's not appreciated is the rocks. Grayson Highlands absolutely beat the crap out of our feet. We were sore. We were all hurting after the Grayson Highlands. Don't like the rocks on the trails. And that's by design by whoever maintains those trails in those areas. Got to say, I'm not a fan. We like the soft dirt. This type of trail right here, that goes easy on the feet. But this type of trail has been a rarity at elevation. I'm not at elevation right now, which is why you see that type of trail. So, in summary, weight loss, strength and ability, in and around people that challenge me, and the ability of the trails to be well maintained so that hikers can hike and people can enjoy the outdoors without huffing and puffing and climbing over trees and stepping on rocks too much. It's greatly appreciated. Oh, Another thing I would give Virginia a shout out for, at least early on. Oh, it's a welcome sight to see bear boxes again. And you know what? With the sight of the bear boxes, you know what has disappeared? The talk about bears, like how bad bears are. Where there are no bear boxes and where there are no bear hangs, bear cables, like looking at you, North Carolina, looking at you, Tennessee, there's a lot of talk about bear issues. But when there's bear cables and bear boxes, not so much. So North Carolina, Tennessee, get your heads out of your ass, please. Seriously. All right, that's just my opinion. And that is my retrospective for week 8. Best mileage output, best average. A lot of factors go into it. The fact I've lost weight, I've strengthened, the trail isn't graded as poorly as other states had graded their trail. It's better maintained. Those are all factors. Plus the fact of lighter pack, warmer weather, longer days. Yeah, I expect to see bigger mileages on a daily basis going forward. Now, will I break the week 8 record so far? Going into week 9? Probably not. In fact, at the recording of this, I know not, because we took 2 zeros for really cold, rainy days. That happened on Sunday and Monday, Memorial Day weekend. And I'm recording this on Tuesday. Anyways, that is the retrospective for week 7 and week 8. I will chat with you guys later.